Oh, by the way, when we hit 50,000 subscribers, I'll do a full video walkthrough of my entire setup and explain it. So, hey, get subscribed, like this video, check out this graph. Do you know a VTuber in your life? Or hey, maybe you're a VTuber yourself? Well, in this video, we're gonna be talking about my recommendations for things to buy for anyone that you know who's a VTuber interested in tech, or to give yourself a little treat. Just as a heads up, all of the links are gonna be Amazon affiliate links. By using those links, you're really helping support my content and what I do. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna break these up into 3 different categories of tracking, stream, and accessories. Let's talk about stream related stuff first. As a VTuber and or a streamer, we often have a lot of buttons that we have to press, whether it's for expressions, activating overlays, or just general life improvements to make streaming easier. Kind of an obvious recommendation would be the Stream Deck. Personally, I've had a Stream Deck and it's probably been like the best streaming purchase I've ever made, because not only do I use it for stream, I also use it for content creation, because it's basically like a fancy way to get things going. And what's super, super nice is, like, if I wanted to get working on a video, all I do is press one button and automatically I set it up to open up everything that I need. Or I have it for specific shortcuts or hotkeys to Photoshop, Blender, and video editing. And right now you can get 15 key Stream Deck for 150 bucks. So you can't go wrong there. Number 2 would be microphones, and I'm gonna put these in a couple different orders. First, we're gonna talk about probably the best condenser mics you can get, the Elgato Wave, the Elgato Wave 1 and the Elgato Wave 3. And what's really nice is not only are these like one of the best bang for buck mics, they also have like unmatched software that comes with like a built-in software mixer, so you can't go wrong. However, if you're finding that you need a lot more background noise rejection, which you can kind of get with a condenser mic, but not as much, then that's when you need to go for a dynamic mic. And some of the best dynamic mics that you can get are the Shure SM58, if you don't really care about what it looks like, and you can get that for like 100 bucks, or the Shure MV7X, which is the XLR only version. Now, the only thing is that you will be needing an XLR to USB interface, which we'll be talking about in a moment. So there's gonna be 2 different ones that I'm personally gonna recommend. One of them is actually on sale right now, which is the Go XLR Mini, which you can find a link to in the description down below, or the Elgato Wave XLR. And the difference between the 2 is one is really fully involved in the Elgato ecosystem and is really great in terms of getting that software mixing platform that Elgato has made. The other one, which is what I personally have, is if you really like having the hardware sliders. Third would be a wireless mic. Wireless mics are great, and there's not a lot of good, affordable wireless mic solutions out there. And I think one of the best high quality wireless mics out there is the Rode Wireless Go. I actually did a video on it over here. You can see it there. And you can also find that in the link down below. Super, super awesome mic. Not only good for streaming, but just general recording. Now, on the same idea of wireless, there's also wireless headphones. What are the best wireless headphones? Personally, I've always recommended the SteelSeries Arctis Pro Wireless. If you are at all interested in taking your stream seriously and you need to monitor your sound and you want to have wireless monitoring, essentially the only way you could really do it for an affordable price is the SteelSeries Arctis Pro Wireless. What's really nice is that you'll be able to hear yourself in real time with 0 delay. And with hot swappable batteries and the whole battery system that they have there, it's almost hard to go wrong. Next is the Elgato HD60S, which is an awesome capture card. I personally have one. It works great. And you can get those now for $150. I know that you can get some capture cards for like $10. I actually have one of those as well, which I'll also link in the description. But the downside to those is the quality is just not as good. It doesn't really have, a lot of them don't have pass-through, and a lot of them have very dubious build quality in terms of overheating and dying. Next is streaming with one monitor is possible. I used to do it before. And I'll tell you, it's a pain. And one way to alleviate that is by using like your cell phone or a tablet to have a pop out for Twitch chat. But if you're needing another monitor, but you're kind of wanting to be able to do something else, a cool option to get a pen display. So the Huion Kamvas 13 is actually a pen display that I personally have that I not only use to draw, but I also use it as a secondary monitor. And it works really great for that. Also another plus side, it's super portable and small and light. Number 8, I'm putting this in stream because if you're in an area that is doesn't have stable or clean power, it can cause some problems, especially on stream. And it's one of those things that you don't really think about. It is a UPS. What is a UPS? Basically, it's kind of like a way to clean the power that comes to your wall and give you battery backup. So in the case that, let's say there's a power blip, instead of having your computer completely shut down, it will remain on. And that way you have, if your stream does go down because of power loss, you'll be a lot more quicker to get up. Or if you're ever editing a video or working on something and all of a sudden your computer shuts down, at least you'll have the time to save everything and close it until the power comes back on. 100% like the unsung hero of most computer builds. And at last, this is gonna be kind of a ridiculous recommendation, but if you wanted to more or less treat yourself, is a Mac Mini with the M1 processor. And it's essentially a really, really awesome OBS box / video editing platform. It's super, super powerful. It's weird to say this, the most affordable streaming computer that you can buy right now, especially during the pandemic that's happening right now. So next is accessories for VTubers. So there's going to be a few odd things in here, but I'll explain what I mean. I'm going to be listing down below the Track Strap or Track Strap Pluses. So these are really high quality straps to attach your Vive trackers to if you ever want to do full body. I did a video on how I do my full body tracking currently in the video that you're going to see up here. The difference between the two is the Track Strap is just a really high quality strap. The Track Strap Plus are the same size and profile straps, but they have a built-in battery giving you extra battery time. Super, super handy. I wish I was able to get them before I came up with my weird DIY solution. Next is a power bank. As someone who on the regular uses about 10 power banks at all times, I'll tell you, getting a good power bank really makes a difference, especially if you want to keep stuff charged on the go. If, let's say, you have, like for me, for example, if one of my trackers start dying, but I don't want to turn this tracker off or end my stream, what I'll do is I'll just slap a battery pack onto it to give it that extra battery life to get me through whatever I'm doing. As a virtual content creator, we generally have a lot of USB devices, and that means we need a high quality USB hub to make sure that we can get all of these things. Personally, I have 10 Vive trackers, each of them requiring their own USB port. So having a really great USB dongle is really great. It would be a really great underrated gift or thing to buy for yourself. Number 5 would be Velcro or Sugru. Velcro, don't get that dollar store crap. Don't get it. Get the good stuff. And I've used the dollar store crap. I've used the official Velcro stuff. And what I'll tell you, the official Velcro stuff just holds. But trust me, when you're doing like ad hoc or like streaming stuff where you want to make sure you want to put something in a place and have it stay or have cables easily managed, Velcro super, super, super helps. And Sugru is kind of like a clay, it's like a cement putty that's super strong, super flexible. In general, I recommend it. I always have a box of it myself. Tracking recommendations. Number 1 is I have done a couple videos about iPhone tracking, and even though yes, I'm using a really expensive HMC, in general, if you're going to be one of those VTubers that just sits in front of the camera, then you don't really need an HMC unless you're going to be moving around. So a really great iPhone stand that's really adjustable and can go really high so they can get the center point of your face, it would be recommended, and that's why I'm recommending this one in particular. If you're thinking about getting into VTubing or know someone that is and they don't have a webcam, you don't actually need to go super fancy. Just a Logitech C920 is good enough. And that's personally what I used for the longest time. That's what most VTubers use. You don't really need anything more than that. Now, for hand tracking, the most accessible hand tracking that you can get if you're going to be using something like VC Face or Leopit is actually a Leap Motion. And down below, I'm also going to include this weird neck holder that you can clip to your neck, and then with just like a little bit of Velcro, you can attach your Leap Motion to make sure that you get nice quality hand tracking. Another thing that's super important, whether you have full facial tracking or just regular webcam tracking, is making sure that you are well lit. Because the better you are lit, the better you're able to be tracked, whether it's your facial expression or your body. This is personally one that I've had for a while, and I super recommend it. It gets bright enough and it's able to adequately light me. You wouldn't probably only need one of these. Next would be the Vive trackers. If you know anyone that's thinking about getting into full body tracking, they will need Vive trackers for high quality, accessible motion capture that can also be used in VR chat for full body. Now, I have listed there the Vive Tracker 2 and the Vive Tracker 3.0. And the difference between the two is the Vive Tracker 3.0 has better battery life, it's USB-C and it's smaller, but the Vive Tracker 2.0 is micro USB, doesn't have as good of a battery, but it has a bigger tracking radius. So I would say for full body tracking, especially if you're going to be doing VTubing, I still actually recommend the 2.0s and 3.0s if you're not going to be worried about it being occluded. Next would be the VR headset. If you don't mind Facebook, the Oculus Quest 2 is pretty hard to ignore. It's basically the best entry to VR as long as you don't mind being meta. And to go with anyone who has full body tracking or VR, if they have either a Valve Index or an HTC Vive, base stations. 2.0 base stations, you can have 2 or up to 4. Personally, I have 4. The more, essentially, most people only need 2, but if you're going to be sitting and you want to maintain tracking, it's best to have a dedicated base station to be able to point at any dead spots that you have in your tracking volume. And last thing, iPhone X. You can buy a used iPhone X for around $300 usually, and what's really nice is not only is it a very capable phone, easiest, most accessible way to get full facial tracking. Probably linked down below. I'll have a video explaining my reasonings for that. Thanks for checking out my video, and special thanks to my patrons, Taylor, Pascon, Wallgeist, Elisa, Bloop Queen, Devin, Elizabeth, Silmain, and Ayumi. See you next time.